Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today we're going to be talking about Ashford Hospitality Trust, going with the ticker AHT. Now this is not the first video in the series. You can watch my previous video in the description below. Nonetheless, today the hope is I'm able to give you a good update, a bit of news additions, short interest, technical analysis, and institutional buyers. So without further ado, let's jump right into this one. So AHT. Now this one here works as hotel holdings or multiple hospitality holdings as given by the name Ashford Hospitality Trust. So the company itself had some recent updates, including on June 15th, announced that the release of the results on the second quarter ending June 30th, 2021 will be after closing or after market close on July 28th, 2021, which happens to be a Wednesday. And they will also host a conference call on Thursday, the following day, at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The number to call is given here, etc. And also the conference will be available through August 5th by dialing that number as well. Now, the other thing I do want to give about is the interview they had on CNBC on June 10th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's out there if you do want to watch it. It's kind of a small presentation or an interview with the company itself, and it should be broadcasted somewhere that are on YouTube. For copyright reasons, I cannot show you this today. Now, the other thing I do want to take a look at here is their institutional buyers. Institutions have been a bit quiet, but something interesting is happening. The short interest here, or short float, shows around 659%. Now, but if you were to look into the daily, you're looking up to around 32% of the entire short volume, or the entire volume is actually going to the shorts on the 10th of June. On the 11th, that went to 27%. Now, yesterday, it was around 19%, and I suspect that number today is between 20 to 25%. And you see that all these are double digits, so it's a little bit alarming to see that it's only 659. I really suspect that the short interest and the short float itself is a lot higher from that 659 currently reported on Finviz and other as well financial pages. So it's definitely something to be in concern of, because it does look like they are reporting or underreporting that short interest. Now, in terms of insiders, on the 3rd of June, they did sell. So Nunley Mark did sell a few shares, but that keep in mind that he was awarded these shares like around 2 weeks before that. And so that is a part of where they get compensations instead of them being paid right away. They're paid in shares as a part of their genuine or continuous income that they do get from the company. Now, the other thing I do want to talk about here is their loans, or the current maturity loans schedule itself. Now, I did report that in the last video, so don't forget to drop a like into that one, and please make sure to subscribe and leave notifications on if you would like to see more contents like this. Now, the part of the maturity of these loans in terms of schedule is that they do have an insane amount. Around 2024, you have around $500 million that are going to be mature at that time. And by 2025, it's around $2.6 billion. Now, the current amount of money they have is a little bit limited. It's not that far off, and their entire market cap is around $910 million. So by that time, by 2025, they'll have to pay around around 3 times more than an entire market cap. By 2024, they have to pay around half of their market cap. So that is something that is quite insane, especially when we were to look into how much the cash amount that they do have. So if we were to look into the last quarter or by the end of the year, you're able to see that their current cash is sitting somewhere, I would say, around $226 million. And when you start looking at that maturity itself, that barely even covers from now until 2023, let alone 2024 and 2025 and 2026, where you have millions or billions of dollars still on the line. Now, they do have a bit more of monthly cash utilization plan, etc. And they do anticipate that their current net debt and preferred equity by the current estimate is sitting at almost $4 billion. So that does pay a little bit off their maturity, and hopefully that the market does recover before they need to pay all that stuff, and they do able to continuously bring more money in. Now they did have basically two different locations or two different assets that they let go for limited refinancing risks, etc., to lower down their exposure, and that's definitely a good thing. Hopefully they're able to continue doing smart decisions like that and really bring in a really good payback for these shareholders that are really believing in them. So let's move on now towards technical analysis. Now, from a technical analysis standpoint of view for AHT, you have bullish things and bearish things. I'll start off with the bullish things. So currently, the price point is, for the first time almost ever, is between the 10 SMA and the 30 EMA, which is also known as the trading action zone. And what is this trading action zone, you might say? That's where the most positive reversals occur. And the 50 SMA line is above the 50 or 200 SMA line. The 80X is sitting very close to the 45, so that should be a bear warning point, but above 50, that's where you can say that the trend has a low chance of bouncing back. But the current point is that this is a very bullish uptrend still. There is key support levels I will talk about later on towards the closer end of the video. And on the willing percent R, this one shows to be heavily oversold for the first time in a while. The last time it's been this oversold was 13th of May, almost a month ago. Now the MACD is going a bit negative, and that's a bearish thing. And momentum is dipping down. Even though it's still positive, both of them are actually still dipping down, really signaling in to be careful, because it's almost a few days out. Perhaps maybe by Friday, we will be able to know whether it will break it or make it. Now, another thing here that you want to look at is the stochastic fast and the stochastic slow. Both are actually telling you to be careful, because it is very much testing a very critical point at that 43.05 on the fast, and the slow, it's sitting in somewhere around 53. And these 2 points, these are more of historical recovery points, similar to these ones here, where they jump back up. But if they do break that, you can easily go down towards an accumulation period where the price point and volatility will slow down, or the price might dip a little as well before doing that. Now, the current moving average bands and the Bollinger bands are all going upwards, and that's still a bullish thing to see. Now, on the Fibonacci retracements, and what I like using these ones for is because algorithms trade using these two as well. So the current supports on that Fibonacci chart is 489, 404, 298, and 127. The current resistances on here is 574, 696, and 851. Now, if you were just to use a price line action, what we're seeing here is that there's a very critical point, a support point that you're looking at the 539. Below there, you're looking into $5. Below there, 408. Below there, 384. Below there, you're going down to 336, and then down to 298, going a little bit further down to 274, 259, going down to 238, 220, going to 184, 159, and then down to 135. Current resistances are a few, so you have one at the 571 level, above there the 596 level, above there the 615 level, above there 637, above there 663, above there 709, 728, 782, and then 851. Comes to the question to Ed, what do you actually think about this one? So for me, it's quite straight. So you see this kind of flagging that keeps happening. It drops down and then jumps, drops down and jumps, and hopefully that continues to go on. Now it's in a very critical level where it's being tested on that level of support at the 538, 539 level. And I do think that they have a bit more of trouble for the debt maturity, but hopefully they're going to be able to pay off that, whether it is with perhaps stock dilutions, etc., or any other way. Now, in terms of this channel that was drawn before, it did break it almost both 2 days in a row. So I do anticipate more of an accumulation period. Now, if we don't get that accumulation period and it kind of just goes off a ramp and continues doing its thing, what I really anticipate is if it does break that support level, we might have to go back towards around the $4 level, and it accumulates around there. Now, from the longer term aspect and a price target, this one will either make it by 2027 and be, let's say, around $10, or it will probably be almost a worthless penny stock around $1, if that. The reason why I'm talking about that is because that maturity level. But in a sense, I am more on the bullish side, saying that you will continue to see more volatility coming with this one because there's a lot of exposure towards that. And it looks like they're able to walk away from risk. For instance, how they divested from 2 different locations or 2 different hotels or whatever hospitality holdings in order to save the rest of their company. And hopefully they're able to continue that. Again, there's other catalysts going on as well. Tourism's, you getting the fully vaccinated people numbers increasing in North America, not only in the US, but also in Canada. And that will bring more tourists as you keep going on and on in people traveling across North America. And hopefully that will also be able to recover a lot of their income as well. Now, what do you think about this ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you made it this far into the video, I do recommend that you go ahead and join our Discord server. There's a lot of amazing folks in here. We do a lot of discussions here into the trading floor throughout the day. A lot of people are in there, and we do ask questions. You can ask me any question you would like on there. We do post research and DDs, and we hold weekly chat sessions. And we also do have a lounge in there. So make sure to actually join that and join the fun there. Have a wonderful day and a good one.